All right. This is all in the final, all out, in Chicago, the final part to this. On the buy-in, have a crazy lucha fatal four-way: El Hilo, Del Vikingo, Bandido, Commander, and Black Toros. Now we go to the main show. We kick things off with a ladder match. Everyone from a different faction. Orange Cassidy from the Best Friends versus Konosuke Takeshita from the Blackpool Combat Club versus Roderick Strong from the Undisputed Elite versus Roosh from LIJ versus Action Andretti, who would be independent, no faction, versus Ethan Page from the Firm. You could have a great six-man ladder match with, I feel like this would be versatile. You have different personalities in here, and the winner would be, of course, Konosuke. And he would win his first title with AEW and become the international champion. And this would be a good way to end Orange Cassidy's reign because he didn't feel like doing one-on-ones anymore. He got bored. So he felt like doing ladder matches at all out to prove he's a fighting champion. And even if he loses, it at least shows Orange Cassidy was a fighting champion and he was a good babyface champion.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I would love to see Konosuke win that title.
Oh, he's going to win that title, and it's going to make the Blackpool Combat even more strong than it is already, man.
Exactly. So, match number 2. Keith Lee and the Hardy Boys versus Swerve Strickland, Christian Cage, and Luchasaurus. So one thing I forgot to mention, a sub feud that'd be going on for Jeff would be a feud with Swerve and a feud with Christian. So basically, I'd have Keith and Swerve squash their beef through this match, through the six-man tag, and have the Hardy Boys squash their beef with Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Swerve through the six-man tag, and the baby faces, Keith Lee and Hardy Boys, would get that W.
So yeah, to me, I think I'm okay with that. I would love to see the Keith Lee and Hardy Boys win. 100% makes it more fun.
Yeah. And again, you have this isn't anything like a crazy match necessarily, but it would be like a fun second match opener, so I'm okay with this as well.
Next match. This is something a little unique, so don't mind me. The Team Taz triple threat to make the TNT Championship mean a bit more. The champion, Powerhouse Hobbs, I would figure out a way to get that title back. And how would I do that? This is how. Within these next few weeks, I'd have Powerhouse Hobbs turn on QT Marshall and all those people. You right that mistake by getting him away from those people. You let him be a badass once again. And you have him take Wardlow's title thanks to a returning Bill Goldberg. And that would set up Wardlow versus Goldberg, and Hobbs would get his belt back. And that's how you end that feud and protect both men. And then, 2 hungry challengers would be his former teammates. Powerhouse would have to face Brian Cage and the rising Ricky Starks. And the winner would be Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks would be able to somehow get the win over the 2 big people and win his first legitimate championship in AEW. Yes, he won the FTW championship, but put that TNT title on Ricky, and I promise that belt will mean more.
Yeah, for me, same thing. I love Ricky, so he deserves that title.
And that brings more legitimacy to the TNT Championship match belt just for Ricky Starks to finally push himself after, his little feud going on with the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society. So again, this is a very good push for Ricky.
Yeah. Match 4, follow-up tag team match, and this would officially end this feud once and for all. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné and Saraya. Mercedes lost against Jamie, but she would be able to get redemption here. And Saraya would pin Baker. And again, this would officially end the feud once and for all. They all go on to different things after this tag match.
Yeah, to me that makes perfect sense, and I think that'd be more fun. So yeah, I would love to see them Monet and Saraya win.
Mm-hmm. Same here, Chief. And then Mercedes Moné and Saraya is a good pair too, since they're both heels anyways. Well, Mercedes is actually no, she is a heel for the crap she's doing in Stardom too.
She.
So there you go. It's a perfect match made in heaven.
Yeah. Now, match 5. I don't really need to go in depth on the story for this one. I'll let these two kind of talk more about it. Chris Jericho versus Daniel Garcia, where Daniel Garcia gets that win and becomes a true star in AEW.
Yeah, the whole thing is big thing with him being trying to everyone telling, yeah, he's a wrestler, but Chris Jericho wants him to be a sports entertainer. It's an interesting. It's really been a long story, but Daniel Garcia deserves to be out of the spotlight and become his own person.
Yeah, and it's also too if you have Jesus Christ, Daniel Garcia taking the win over Chris Jericho, which proves his point of him being the best pro wrestler compared to being a sports entertainer, because it's implied numerous times that Garcia is kind of over this thing, even though he doesn't want to admit it. So it's a good little send off. It's a good way to close the end to a chapter to move on.
Yeah. Now, next match, I don't even need to talk about Kota Ibushi versus Bryan Danielson. It's long, it's back and forth, it's competitive. But in the end, you give Kota that win. Why aren't we letting Bryan win? Well, we let Bryan already beat Zack Sabre Jr., so he doesn't need to beat both of them. And why would he beat both of them when he's not going to get a world title? He doesn't want a world title.
Yeah, so to be perfectly fine. This is a pretty much a dream match to be happening again. So I love that. So for me, I'm okay with Cody winning.
Kota needs to win, man. Bryan's not beating Kota Ibushi. Like, get out of here.
Next match. To end this beef once and for all with Young Bucks doing what's best for business. FTR versus Young Bucks 3 for the AEW Championship, Tag Team Championships. Yeah, FTR would get the win. They were supposed to win the third match, so I figure Young Bucks do what's right for business. I let them, the Elite, win in London, so the Elite would have to return the favor in Chicago. And yeah, they wouldn't have anything to do with each other after this.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. There's no, and I don't want to say anything else except that this is going to be the end of this whole thing, and FTR is going to win this.
Yeah, and what way better send off to give victory to FTR over the Young Bucks, which would be absolutely insane for them and their careers, because they did feud once before, but they ended up losing. So it's a good little send off.
Yeah. Now, the semi-main event, the dream match in Chicago, CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. The Elite get that babyface win in London. Again, Punk has to get that babyface win in Chicago. Because we know Chicago are going to root for Punk and FTR. We know London are going to root for the Elite. That is what it is.
It's the same thing. I'm okay with CM Punk winning. There's nothing to say about that.
Mm-hmm. And as CM Punk, and this is a good benefit for CM Punk too, because he let Kenny and the Bucks win it all in. So this is why you give CM Punk his moment for doing that shit for them too. So it's a win-win if they go through with this, assuming.
Yeah. Now, the main event for the AEW Championship. Darby Allin versus MJF. So Darby Allin would have a nice 3-month run from Double or Nothing all the way to All Out. But sadly, Darby still can't do it. He still can't beat MJF 1-on-1 because MJF's cheating tactics. With his cheating tactics, he finds ways to outsmart Darby every single time. And we would continue that thread through All Out. And MJF would officially be a 2-time AEW champion. And then whatever we do with the Forbidden War of 2024, whatever we do with that in MJF will be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see to me that MJF is going to win. I wonder if he's going to have a better run than the one that he's having right now, or is he going to have the same run? So that's going to be interesting to me to see.
Yeah, I totally agree with you too.
So what do you guys think of All Out in Chicago?
It looks really good. I like most of these. I think every match so far I really liked.
Same here, but I still stand by that All In for me personally has more of the matches that I would more likely to see. Since not to discount the other two shows, but they're nothing nowhere comparison between All In. But I kind of get it where it's coming from, since that's like the biggest AEW show, so you have to go just crazy, crazy hard on it.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, think about it. You still get MJF versus Darby, Punk versus Omega, FTR versus Young Bucks 3. Like, this card's pretty crazy, too, in my opinion.
It is.
It's stacked.
Yeah. So, but yeah, exactly. I had to make All In the biggest show. So, do you guys think this summer of 2023 would help grow AEW and make it better?
I would say 100% if they make the right choices.
That's all we can really hope for, dude. But we'll see what Tony's cooking, because he's not always right on most of these things.
It's going in a scary direction. So we can only just sit and see how this ride goes, I guess.
Yeah.
So, thank you all so much for watching this 3-part extravaganza. I've been Daniel.
I've been Berman.
Chris again.
And we'll see you all in the next one when we review Backlash 2023. Take it easy.